Hi, bestie. Welcome back to Girl House. If you're watching on YouTube, you can already tell it is just me this week. I was gonna make like a sick and twisted prank that Celia has left Girl House and do this like funny drama, haha, and then tell you it was a prank. But then I was just like, anyway, she's not able to make it this week because she just has stuff going on. So we will miss her dearly. She will be back next week, and she is with us in spirit. So it's just you and me today, and I thought we could do a little Q&A. If you don't follow Girl House Pod on Instagram, follow us, number one, because, I mean, if you want to follow, it doesn't hurt. But number two, we always put little Q&A boxes, either asking you what you want to hear, or, for example, today, submitting, like, questions for the Q&A, and we love chatting with you on there. Anyway, it feels so weird without Celia here. No banter. I have gotten so used to recording with someone else. But I guess I'll start with updates on my own this week. I don't really have any massive updates since last time we chatted. I'm trying to think. I really have not done much. I hate a holiday weekend. I've told you this before and I'll say it again, like any weekend where there is a holiday going on, I always find myself like having zero plans, and like I wouldn't really care about that. Like I love hanging out with myself, like not worried about it. But this past week and Memorial Day weekend, I didn't have any plans. I could have like pushed for plans, but I just didn't have it in me. Part of me was like, I should just like really not overexert myself, just like put myself in social situations that I might not have the energy for, so that I am not hanging out by myself. But then I just was like, you know what? I'd rather just stay at home. Also, I'm acting like I had so many plans. I had like 2 plans I could have possibly had. I'm over explaining this. My tarot card reader told me to stop over explaining. I said this last episode. But no, I mean, I felt like a loser this weekend, to be honest, because I I don't know, I just hate holiday weekends. I never have plans. And then I like sit at home and then I feel like uncomfortable about myself and like weird. Like I was even like, should I even say that I didn't do anything this past weekend, or should I just not talk about the weekend? But it's just you and me. Yeah, no, I literally did nothing. And then like I felt like a freak too, because I went to Pilates on Monday, and like obviously like everyone in the class was like hungover and like went out and did stuff, but I literally did nothing. So like the Pilates instructor was like, I know you guys are like all hungover right now, haha, like I'm sure you all had crazy nights. It was just like I'm so weird right now. But if you and that's why I hate a holiday weekend. That's what I was going to say. Like, if you two were alone this past Memorial Day weekend, don't feel like a loser. You and me both. And, like, I never feel weird about hanging out by myself ever. Like, I love hanging out by myself unless it's a holiday weekend. And for some reason, like I said, holiday weekends, I'm notorious for never having plans. Like, friends are either out of town or already busy doing other things. And I am on my lonesome. Celia makes fun of me, but I always talk about last 4th of July. Like, I don't even care about 4th of July, obviously. Last 4th of July, Celia was out of town, and she always makes fun of me for this, for talking about my lonely 4th of July. But this is when it was like just me and Celia, and to be honest, like when she was here, I didn't really try that hard to make other friends. I had like acquaintances, but no one like close. That's one good thing about Celia leaving. There's nothing good about her leaving other than I actually have had to and have made great friends now. But at this point in my life, last year, I literally had no other friends really except for Celia. And so I spent 4th of July alone, and I just felt so weird. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I just felt weird about myself. And once again, okay, that's what I hate. I hate the pressure. That's why I'm worried about having a wedding as well, because there's like, obviously I want a wedding, but I plan to elope because like it's like the pressure of like, well, the wedding is more, that was a bad example because like a wedding you have to like walk down the aisle and stuff. I just don't feel comfortable doing that. Or like, and I'm not like a PDA person, so, and I don't like to like express my love in front of people. It makes me uncomfortable. Anyway, that is a whole other situation. I guess a better example would be birthdays. I hate birthdays. Every single birthday I cry, and I feel like my plans are never good enough. And the long story short, yeah, I felt weird this weekend, but I didn't have plans, and I hate a holiday. I hate the pressure it puts on you, is the point. But so my update from the weekend is what did I even do? I literally did nothing at all. I walked, I went to Pilates. I had a very healthy weekend, so that was good. Other updates on my end. I'm the only one here right now. Other updates, there's this antique store. I love going to antique stores. I've been this way my whole life. I could literally spend like 5 hours in an antique store. I like going through each and every like little tiny corner. I love like when they have like the postcard sections, and you can go through all of the postcards and like read what people wrote to each other in like 1912. And then like the one I went to today that I love, I forgot what it's called, the Collective Mart Collective something. It's in Venice on Lincoln. I love this one because it's massive, and they have like a bin full of like literally like people's photos, which is just so cool. Anyway, I only spent like an hour there today because I had to go home to feed Ducky breakfast and take him out, but I had such a blast there. I could spend so long in this store. But here's my thing. I love going to antique stores, but I never buy anything there except for my vintage Playboy magazines because, which, by the way, I don't recommend getting vintage Playboys actually, my favorite is not Playboy. My favorite is Hustler. No. I love Hustler. My favorite is Penthouse. That's my favorite. But I do not recommend getting them at antique stores usually, at least in like cities, because they always overprice them so much. I just ordered a 10-pack of like vintage Penthouse from the 70s on eBay, but it's been like 3 or 4 weeks and it hasn't shipped. Anyway, my whole point being, I never buy things from antique stores because I have this weird fear that it's going to be haunted. And I'm so scared of purchasing a haunted object and like bringing it home. And I've just always been this way. And I know it's irrational. I've been looking for a magazine rack for ages because I have so many magazines collecting from Mod Podging. If you don't know, my favorite thing, first of all, I know it's pronounced Mod Podge, not Mod Podge, but I can't. Mod Podge just like flows so much better off the tongue. Anyway, my favorite thing to do is take vintage Playboy, Hustler, Penthouse magazines and make Mod Podge collages on canvas. And I've accrued quite a collection of magazines, obviously, over the past 2 years of doing this hobby. So, without further ado, getting to the point, I came across a magazine rack. It was a mid-century bamboo, like, perfect magazine rack. And it was only $60, which I've seen, like, I don't know what like a regular price for a magazine rack is. All I know, like I've seen other mid-century magazine racks online for like $200. So I was like, this is quite the steal. And it's from 1960, so it's not like super old. And so I bought the magazine rack and it's sitting in my living room and I love it. But yeah, I'm a little nervous that it's haunted, but I feel like because it's from 1960, it's probably fine. But that's like my big update from today. I know it's like, I feel like it probably is only a thing when you buy like dolls, right? But I've seen like, there's this YouTuber I used to watch all the time, Loey Lane, and I think it was her who would always buy like haunted dolls and stuff, like in these like packages on eBay. I don't know. I don't think a magazine rack is gonna be haunted. And if anything, I'm just giving it a new happy life in my home. So, yeah. My other big update, big life change that I went through this morning actually was, I don't want to say, like, I'm not even going to say Dunkin' Latte is not doing it for me anymore, because it absolutely is. But I can leave for Pilates like a half an hour later if I don't get the Dunkin' Latte before. So I've been making a coffee at home and then usually getting a Dunkin' Latte after Pilates on the way to the gym. But then it's kind of like I just chug the Dunkin' Latte, don't even get to enjoy it because I'm like rushing because the Dunkin' Donuts is right next to my gym. Whole point being, I haven't been getting them every day only because I want to like actually enjoy it. And so I've cut back a little bit, not because I don't love them, but because there's just not a right time in my morning. I mean, if I start getting up at 6 a.m., then I can go back to getting Dunkin' Lattes, which I am up at 6. Ducky gets me up at 5:30. His new time to go out is 5:30. Anyway, today I was like, I'm really tired. I need a crazy boost of energy. And I've worked with Amino Lean a long time ago, and I remember like I love them, but they do like the energy you get from them is insane. So I was like, maybe I should go get like one of those drinks. And the thing that popped up in my head was Alani Nu, and I've never tried them before. But I went to the grocery store. I went to Gelson's. I got my favorite eggs, the Calico Farm eggs. They're so cute. And I picked up 2 Alani Nus. And I was like scared to drink it because I don't know. I was like, I already had a coffee. Is this gonna like send me into a panic attack? So I was being cautious as I drank it, but it did give me energy. But I think I was so nervous to drink it. I don't know. I'm thinking back, did I love it? I have a better workout at the gym off of a Dunkin' Latte. That's all I can say. So I think tomorrow morning I might try having an Alani Nu first thing. Although no, I won't because I just picked up more Reese's Creamer. Anyway, those are my big updates. Is there anything else new going on in my life? No. Oh, well, I'm going home this weekend to my parents' house for like a week for no reason at all, but just I like to go home sometimes. And it's summer and Ducky loves going home, so that will be fun. And hopefully, I think Celia and I are going to cross paths because there's like 2 or 3 days she's not going to be on Nantucket, so I'm hoping we'll be able to hang even for just a little bit. But I don't know what time I get into Boston. My flight from LA leaves at 6 a.m., which I'm really annoyed that I booked that. I love a red eye, but like leaving at 6 a.m. just sucks because nothing's open. So I can't get like my pre-flight mimosa or pre-flight. Well, maybe things are open. I feel like things don't open at the airport till 5 or 6. I'll update you if they were open, but that's really the only other thing going on that I can think of to update you on. Okay, let's get into the Q&A. Here we go. Advice for a recent graduate feeling really overwhelmed with life after school. Number 1, congrats to everyone who just graduated, because I know a lot of people did just graduate. I went to Celia's sister Britta's graduation recently, as we told you last week, and I was just so inspired by the speakers at her graduation. But no, life after graduation, like once you are done with school, whether it is high school, undergrad, grad school, like wherever your stop point is, and you're like, I no longer have any more school left, it feels really freaky because you are like in the real world. Like in school, even if like you do have responsibilities, like it just doesn't like you're not really in the real world yet, like in every single sense. I just feel like there's I wish I could be in school forever because I just don't feel like I'm in the real world. But I remember when I graduated from law school, I went on a trip to Miami to celebrate graduating, and then I went back, and I remember this was the first time when I flew back into New York, I felt depressed. And Celia and I always say, like, when you start like flying back to the place you live and you feel sad to be there, that's like a really bad sign. And I felt so bummed out to be in New York. And I remember I got back that day and I went to the Brooklyn Bridge Park and I just sat in like on a bench. I think I even posted an Instagram story of this and asked other people if they were freaking out, but I remember just saying like, I am having a crisis. I don't know what to do with my life. I think I cried in the park on the phone. Like I was just so it just felt so weird because I'd been in school until I was 22, no, 24, 23. How old was I when I graduated law school? 25? No, I was 24. Yeah, 24. I've been in school for 24 years, which is a long, well, okay, that's not true. But obviously, I started school when I was like, well, I started preschool when I was like 4 or 5. Anyway, I'd been in school for a long time, and it doesn't, like, being done with school just feels weird because even just like, I feel like there's like a lack of identity because I don't know how to explain it. Maybe this is just a me thing, but I feel like for me personally, and maybe this was like harder because it, like, me being a law student was like tied to my social media so much, but I feel like this is just common with being done with school in general, is like being a student is your identity. Like, you know, you're a student, that's what you do, and like all of a sudden you're not anymore, and it just feels like, my whole point being, it's a really weird transitionary period, and I know a lot of people struggle with this. I remember when I posted that story like a few years ago saying like I was freaking out that I was done with school, like I got so many responses being like, I feel the same way. So number one, like, don't feel weird that you feel like overwhelmed or lost when you're done with school, because it's such a normal thing. Like, it is a crazy transition period. I feel like you don't really become an adult until you finish school. Even though like I was 24 when I finished, I had not taken a break through, and I didn't really feel like a real person until I was done with school, and it took me a long time to adjust. Also, if you finish school and like you don't have a job set up yet, or you don't even know exactly what you want to do yet, like, it's so hard being in like your early 20s or even later 20s, and like just like trying to figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life that will make you happy and not miserable. So I guess like my advice would be just like take it day by day. Know that it's really normal to not know what you're wanting to do. It's normal to feel like you don't have a purpose for a little bit. I think that's probably the hardest thing for me, is like school gives you such a purpose, and like I feel like it's something I'm good at. I know I can do well and get good grades, and it feels good, and it's like almost like a validating, like it validates me in a way that like I'm like, okay, I'm doing something good in my life, if that makes sense. I really strive off academic validation for sure. I feel like that's part of the reason I went to law school. Not like actually, but definitely didn't hurt. Anyway, I don't really have any good advice other than like you just have to take it day by day, and you will figure it out, and it's a transition period, and I think transition periods and change are always scary, especially if you're someone who like absolutely hates and tries so hard to stay away from change like I do. But you will figure out what you're going to want to do. You will get used to this period, and it is just a new chapter of your life, which is so exciting. So I guess just like is something like I always am working on, because I think because I have anxiety and OCD, I always like just assume the worst is going to happen. But you just have to like assume this is a new chapter, and it's going to be even better than the chapter before. And just try to go with the flow and be gentle with yourself, I guess, is my best advice. But I don't really have any great advice because I really struggled with this too. But it gets better. I'm not struggling anymore. So if that makes you feel any better. And I am like so bad about change. Yeah. Curious about you going to grad school. What a transitionary question. Is that the right word to use? I don't know. Ironic? No. You know the point. Wow. What a great next question. What a follow-up. I mentioned this last podcast, but I am going to grad school. It actually happened because I was so inspired by one of the speakers at Britta's graduation, but I went into a lot more depth in the last podcast. I cannot see myself ever wanting to be a lawyer in my life, and I'm so lucky that social media pays the bills, which is really great, but I know myself, and I'm the kind of person, like, I've tried really, really hard for the past 3 years. I guess, have I been full time for 3 years now? I think 3 years, 2 years. I think I'm going on year 3 of being full time. I've tried so hard to, like, just feel really good about it all the time. And I think I need more purpose in my life. Not saying, like, I know a lot of people do this job, social media, full time, and do, like, a lot better handling, I guess maybe, like, the lack of structure and everything. But I myself just, like, it doesn't, I think I need something else on top of it, and I'm in a really lucky situation. I don't want to ever walk away from social media. Like, I love it, but I think there's, like, so much pressure on it when it's like my whole life revolves around it, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like I take things to heart more, like getting hate online and stuff, and obviously over the years I've gotten better about it, but I feel like everything feels like it feels a lot deeper when it's your only thing. So for a long time I've been, like, trying to figure out, like, what I would even want to do, because I know I don't want to be a lawyer. And I unfortunately didn't really realize that till I went to law school and learned what being a lawyer really entails. So, like, I really recommend, while I am glad, like, I went straight through, I really think it's good to, like, work in the legal field to some degree before you decide to go to law school, because I think I definitely had it misconstrued what it meant to be a lawyer before I went, for sure. But I don't ever regret going to law school. I'm so grateful I did. That being said, I don't ever want to practice as a lawyer, and there was, like, a while where I was, like, teetering back and forth. Do I take the California bar? Do I not take the California bar? Or whatever. But then I was just, like, so much back and forth. But why would I put myself through literal hell? Like, studying for the bar exam is literal hell. It is 7 days a week of studying 8 hours a day for 2 months. Like, over 2 months. It's a nightmare. It takes a big toll on your mental health. And I didn't want to do that again, to just pass it and then once again not do anything with that. So something I have always wanted to do, like, my whole life, and could see myself doing but didn't think I could do, was be a therapist. I just, like, that is something I would love to do, but I always thought it required, like, a science background, and I just can't do science, like, at all. So I was like, well, that's just, like, not in the realm of possibility for me. Like, science and math do not work in my brain at all. Like, it would, ugh. But then I realized recently, after this inspiring speech at Britta's graduation, I was like, let me look into, like, how you become a therapist one more time. And then I realized, have I ever really looked into it that much? I don't know. I think I just assumed it's actually a psychiatrist that requires a scientific background, and you don't need a science background for becoming a therapist. And I also do think it will be, I don't know if there's a way I will combine my law degree and getting my master's. Basically, that's what I'm going to do, is you have to get a master's in psychology usually, which is what I'm going to do. So I'd love to start in the fall this coming year, but I don't think I will be able to apply that quickly, especially because, like, my top school is San Diego State, and I know it's way too late to apply for the fall semester there. So I'm going to see if you can apply to a winter semester. If not, I'll start next year. But I'm really, really excited for whenever I am able to start. Yeah, I'm going to get my master's in most likely psychology, and I don't know if there's a way that I'll be able to combine, like, my law degree and this master's and this career, but I'm sure it definitely won't hurt to have both degrees, obviously. So I'm really excited, because a therapist is something, like, I would enjoy being so much. Like, it would be something I would actually enjoy. And I think, like, that's something I could do a lot easier, find, like, a part-time situation, because I don't know, like, I still social media will, knock on wood, always be my main source of income. And I don't want to like say this where it gets like construed in a weird way, but I would like a part-time position, because this is still my job and I still want to have like the time and energy to put everything into this. But I think having something else to do in my life, if it's like, whether it's like maybe like it's 3 days a week or 4 days a week even, like having that will just help me so much in every aspect of my life, because I think I'm just a person who needs a little more structure than I have going on. But I'm also trying to like find the beauty and really enjoy like the freedom I do have. So I think if and I don't even know the details of this yet, like how it will work or like what I'll even be thinking when I'm done with my master's, but my plan is to like hopefully eventually have like a job as a therapist where maybe I work like 3 days a week and then I do this full time. Like that's the ideal world. I don't know the exact like, I don't know if that's possible or not to do it like that 3 days a week, but that's what I'm hoping in a perfect world. I really don't know anything about what I'm doing yet, and I hope to get into San Diego State, so I will keep you updated on my journey with this. But I'm really excited, and it's another chapter we get to go through together. What do you see for future of the pod? I don't really know. I think I would love to eventually still, I love the idea of doing live shows. It's just a little harder now because Celia and I are not in the same area, but I would love to eventually do something like that. And I think I want to just continue growing it and building it. And I think I'm so grateful for the cozy little girl house we have right now, but I think we need to put a lot more effort into growing it more and like posting videos about it. And like I feel like it's like a if you know kind of podcast right now. And not to say I'm not so grateful for you, but of course I'd love for it to grow more. So I think I'd like to see me and Celia like put more actual effort into the growth of it and just see where it goes from there. I want to do more girl house events. We did our girl house event at La Cabana in September this past year, and it was so fun meeting all of you. And it's just like, it was so like, I literally would be great friends with every single person I met at that event, which is just like so cool and heartwarming that like we have this little community like where we really all, I feel like, get each other so much. So I definitely want to do a girl house event in Boston and New York for sure, and another one in LA, but more to come with that. How are you doing a couple months post breakup? Love you bestie. Now I'm finally on the other side of it, and now that I am on the other side of it, I can say like this is just me and who I am. Like I take a long time to get over things, so like I was sad for a while, and I'm not going to be like embarrassed to say that I was sad, but like it took me like definitely like a good amount of time to get over. I know it was like a short relationship, but I think it was more just like, first of all, Celia had left. Second of all, like I hadn't been in a relationship for so long, and I think I was more like mourning the loss of like, I was like, ugh, I like literally have been single for so long and like careful of who to let into my life, and I thought I found like a good healthy relationship and ended up not being that. So I think I was like mourning the loss of that. I don't know. I also just like take a long time to get over things, but I'm finally on the other side, and I am just so glad that like the breakup happened. And it's so crazy because whenever you're going through a breakup, like it's so hard to see why it's happening. But now, like looking back, like I have improved myself so much since the breakup. It forced me to go out and make friends, and I've met like some great people now and have some great friends that I probably wouldn't have really worked hard on building those friendships had I had a boyfriend to rely on like right after Celia left, which once again, I will say this over and over again, because I know like stupid people online were like, she's only getting into this relationship because Celia's leaving, and that had nothing to do with it at all. Just happened to be timing, where when Celia left, I got into a relationship. It just happened, and that worked out great in theory, but because we broke up, like with Celia leaving and then me not trying to make friends when Celia was here and then going into a relationship, I didn't feel the need to make friends really at all. So on that note, like it forced me to make friends, and I am just like, it feels so nice to actually have really sweet, nice friends that I love in LA now. I feel like after every breakup, I like always, it's never even like an intentional thing, it always just happens, but I end up just like trying to better myself in some way. I think that's the best way you can get through a breakup, is just like deal with it in a healthy way. And I have gotten into great shape, if I do say so myself. Like I was really insecure about my body for like the past year and a half, and I, after the breakup, just like got into a lot healthier habits lifestyle wise, and also like incorporated more exercise, I guess, into my, I don't know, I just feel like I really am like back on track with being healthy. And I think I was developing like some unhealthy habits in this past relationship. Not even because of like the relationship itself. I think it's just really easy to get like stagnant when you are dating someone. And like I feel like it forced me to take my career seriously again. And like, this sounds stupid, but like also like I feel like I found myself again, because I think I kind of lost myself for a little bit and stopped really knowing how to be alone or feeling comfortable being alone, which is something I've always been really, not always been really good at, but in law school, like during the pandemic, I think I like got so good at it. And I think that's such an important skill to have, is to be comfortable with yourself and be okay hanging out with yourself and enjoying being with yourself. And I think living on the same property as Celia was the best thing ever, and I wish we still lived on the same property to this day. I miss her so much, and I miss living close together, but I do think that made me like not be so good at being alone anymore. And then when she left and then I was in this relationship, I feel like I once again like just didn't feel comfortable being alone, or if I was alone, I like felt weird about it. I don't know how to explain it. And this happens every single breakup, but like right when we broke up, I was like, oh my god, like I'm freaking out, like I can't be single, like I need a new boyfriend next month, like I just like which obviously I did not get a new boyfriend in a month. That's another thing, like at least for me personally, that really helped me, is like not just like hooking up with random people after the breakup, because in my younger years I have done that and it makes everything feel so much worse. So I do not recommend that. I think feel your emotions, feel sad, save the hookups for when you're feeling happy. That being said, where was I going with, I always am like just like, it's like this really frantic, overwhelming feeling like I need to not be single. I need to not be single. I need a boyfriend. I need a boyfriend. I need a boyfriend. And that feeling like eventually always passes, and I find myself again. And that feeling finally passed, and I have found myself again. I feel so comfortable with myself again. Like I just think I kind of lost myself like the past year and a half, 2 years. And I like have really just like completely found myself again, and I feel so comfortable doing things. I love hanging out with myself again. I'm like doing things that I haven't done for like, just like for example, like going to the antique store and like browsing for like a few hours by myself, or like Mod Podging, or going on a walk with an audiobook, like, or I don't know, just like sitting at home watching a TV show with a glass of wine. And like a yummy dinner. Like I don't know, I stopped enjoying things like that and like even really recognizing myself. And I think the key to life is to think of yourself as your own best friend. I know that sounds cheesy, but I think you are kind of unstoppable if you can do that, because no one can really fuck with you if you are your own best friend, because you don't really not need anyone else, but you know what I mean. Um, so yeah, I guess like long story short, I feel like I found myself again, and I feel really healthy and good in my body, and I feel like happy and with friends now. And so, um, I like obviously breakups suck. I hate breakups. I hope to not go through another breakup. Like holy hell. But I'm finally on the other side. So if you're going through a breakup, like first of all, don't feel weird for how long it takes you to get over things, because I was sad for like a while after. Like I pretended to not be sad anymore when I was still sad because I was embarrassed about being sad. But now that I'm on the other side of it, I can say like I was sad like all the way up through April. Um like it's been recent that I like finally don't feel sad about it anymore. So yeah, don't feel weird about how long it takes you to get over things, because some people just feel things more than others, myself included. I also just hate change and I ruminate on things, but it does get better. And once again, and Celia and I said this in the breakup episode, like a glow up will be coming, and we always say this, but it is true. Not to toot my own horn, but I definitely have had a glow up, like mentally and physically. I feel like I just feel really good about myself for the first time in years, which feels good. So yeah, I feel like I'm in a really good place now, and I finally like truly feel healed from everything, which is great because it does take me a while to get over things. What's something you wish you could tell yourself before becoming an influencer? I don't know. I read this question before I started, and I was like trying to think like what is like one piece of advice. I guess like for so long, like I have always loved watching like YouTube videos, vlogs. Like I remember in like 6th grade, me and my friend Alex were like watching Michelle Phan and then like going to CVS and buying makeup. And I then like after like later I like love watching like vloggers on YouTube, but I just never, I don't know, I never even like thought it was a thing that I could possibly do for myself. And on top of that, I was like, even if like I ever tried, like I'd just be so embarrassed to post. And when I did start posting, I did feel so embarrassed. um so I think I'd probably go back in time and tell myself like, this is gonna work out, don't be embarrassed. But I'm sure I still get embarrassed posting to this day, even though it is my job and I have found success in it, like to the point where it has completely changed my life. Um, I think I would try to, I always just wonder if maybe would I have started earlier if I didn't feel embarrassed, but I'm glad I started when I did and whatever. But I think I would say like, don't be embarrassed. Like, and I guess that goes like if you're listening to this and like social media is something you want to do but you feel embarrassed about posting, just post. Like don't think about it, don't think about what other people are saying. Because, and I know this is like a popular saying on TikTok right now, but like being cringe, quote unquote, like can lead to so much success. So like just embrace it. My first TikToks that I posted, I literally can't even stomach watching anymore. Like it makes me sick to my stomach. It makes me want to die. But it got me to where I am today, and I am so grateful for that. And like this literally changed my life in like so many ways, like more than like one. Like obviously like financially it is amazing, and I'm so grateful that I get to live the life I do because of social media, all from posting embarrassing videos. But like on top of that as well, like I am just so grateful for all of you. And I don't know, I feel like I just truly, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, like I never feel alone. Like I feel like if I'm going through something, there's always a bestie who's like, I'm going through the same thing. And I feel like we have this very special, especially in the girl house community, like just this very special sweet community where we can all, I don't know, be there for each other. And I find that so sweet and I love it. So I'm just really grateful. That being said, just like post, I guess that would be my advice to anyone like trying to start. But other advice I'd give myself, and I still need to listen to this to an extent, but I've gotten a lot better about it, is just like, do not listen to the negative comments. There's always going to be negative comments. Don't go on Reddit. I haven't gone on Reddit in so long. That is my number one rule, like for myself, is to not go on Reddit, because Reddit's not a nice place, and people leaving mean comments on TikToks, quite frankly, are weird. I'm sorry, but like if I see a TikTok and I find the person annoying, like I'll, for example, maybe like send it to Celia and be like, this is so annoying. I won't comment and be like, oh, you're so, like, I don't know, I find that so weird. I find those people weird, and so I think I would just say like ignore it, because I remember when I started, like, if anyone thought like something I did was like slightly not okay, or like got mad at something, I would like post apology videos and be apologizing for like things I literally did not need to be apologizing for. Like the way I like cut a vegetable, for example. I don't know if that's like an actual thing I apologize for, but like minute things that did not require apologies. So I think I would say like don't apologize for everything, unless like obviously if you do something and it warrants an apology. But yeah, I guess that would be like my other advice. And is there anything else? I guess just like, and this is something I'm still working on, and I had the tarot card reader tell me this, who I keep talking, the reading was just amazing. But she made the point to me that like I am a person who always feels like I need to over explain myself. I think that's something I'd tell myself, and I'd still tell myself to this day, is you don't need to explain yourself to anyone, just do. And that is advice I'd still give myself to this day, because I still feel like I have to defend myself every day for like not becoming a lawyer, because people are like so angry about it for whatever reason, even though it's my life. And I think I just need to like start unapologetically like doing what I want to do and not feeling like I need to explain my every move. So I guess that would be advice I'd give myself too, is like, don't feel like you have to explain yourself to anyone. Just do what you want to do, because I think it's easy when you're on social media to feel like you need to please others and explain yourself and make sure you're pleasing others, but it gets to a point where like you have to, like, I'm so grateful for everyone who are like true besties and support me, and I love you guys. But like with like the negative comments, or even like people who just think they like know what's best for me, like it gets to a point where like it's almost like you're living for other people. Like I almost took another bar exam, quite frankly, to please other people, which is insane. And so I think like there needs to be like a line drawn where you can like obviously like have these great relationships with people who follow you, but also still be living for yourself, if that makes sense. I don't know, I feel like I'm like really rambling with I haven't just talked here by myself for a while, so I'm a little out of practice. Tips on making the coziest apartment. I'm moving out soon and I love your homey vibe. This is my favorite thing. I love, like, nothing makes me more happy than like going to Home Goods and like picking up more things to just make my house as cozy as possible. I love a cozy home. So I think like my top 3 things, if I had to give like top 3 things to make your home cozy, my number 1 will always be lamps. I think no place can be cozy with overhead lighting. So I really, really recommend lamps everywhere. Like I have so many lamps in my house and I will never stop buying lamps. And I have these Himalayan salt night lights that I have everywhere, and they're always on. And I always have my lamps on. Like it just feels so cozy to have this warm, cozy lighting. I have lamps in my kitchen, my bathroom, my bedroom, my living. Like I literally have lamps everywhere. So I would say like just lamp it up. Get as many lamps as you possibly can, of all shapes and sizes. And Home Goods has like a lot of really great lamps. Like I love, if you're going to look for lamps, that would be a place I really recommend. I think they're great. Yeah, I think lamps and just like ambient lighting in general. Like I also have candles everywhere. I love having candles. I just got like these like little platters and put like a bunch of candles in my little fireplace. I have them on my mantle. I have them in the bathroom, in the kitchen. I have candles everywhere too, in my bedroom. So I think that's like anything that just is like cozy lighting, I love, whether it is a candle or a lamp. So that would be like my number one big thing. Another thing, and my mom always told me this, and like I used to not listen to her, but now I completely agree, is like when you are moving into a new space, especially if like it's your first time like buying furniture or like anything, it's so tempting to be like super matchy. Like I remember when I was like decorating my apartment for New York, it was the first time like I had real money to like actually like buy nice furniture and decorate my home exactly how I wanted to. But I literally wanted everything all white. I wanted white couch, and then I wanted like white bed and white sheets and white comforter, and then I wanted like my coffee table to match my TV console, to match my dining table. My chairs had to match the wood on my dining table. My bar stools had like, I wanted everything to match perfectly, and I felt like it had to all be from like the same store and like whatever. And my mom would always tell me, first of all, like the all white thing, it comes in and out, but it like never feels like a comfy home when everything is all white. And also like having things not so matchy actually makes everything so much comfier, and it looks better. Like it has more of like your personal taste. So over the years now, I have just like accrued so many pieces of furniture that have come from home to home with me that I am not matchy at all anymore. I like avoid matchy now. I hate it. I love having like different woods and different textures and colors, everything. So like I would say like when you're shopping, like don't feel like pressure to have everything match perfectly. I think it's a lot comfier to not have things match. And don't be afraid to have color in your house, because I was so afraid to have color for so long, and now I'm obsessed with color. Like it feels so much cozier to have color all around than not, because it makes it feel more like lived in. And that is another piece of advice my mom always gives me, because I definitely have gotten my decorating. I do think I'm good at decorating, and I think it's because of my mom. But like she'll always say, like, because I'll like put something somewhere, for example, like I just put my tea kettle on top of a shelf in my kitchen, and like it's not perfect, it looks fine, but it's not perfect. And like she will always say whenever I'm stressing out about something like that, like it doesn't have to be perfect in a magazine, because you are also living in this home. And so I think like that's another thing, like don't try to have everything perfect, because then you won't feel comfortable. Because I've had an apartment before where I had everything perfect and I did not feel comfortable in it, because you just like, I don't know, it's like a space where you live, so like obviously you want it to look nice, but also like having it perfect is just like not comfortable to live in. And I think another like cozy thing I love is just having books everywhere. I really think books like make a home so comfy and bring so much life into it. I have so many books everywhere, and it makes it so cozy. So if you're a reader, books. If not, I also think having like cozy blankets everywhere. I love having throw blankets, baskets of throw blankets, blankets on the couch, blankets in my room. Like I love having cozy blankets everywhere. And rugs. I need to get a rug for my kitchen actually still, but I think like adding a rug to a space, like it always blows my mind when I like have a space that doesn't have a rug in it, and then I finally get a rug and I'm like, how was I living in here without a rug? Because it makes it so much comfier. So I think having rugs can make your home really comfy too. And On that topic of like getting stuff for your home, when I first started buying stuff for my house, and then especially when I moved to LA, I like had it in my head because it was the first time I was like making real money and buying real furniture for my house. Like I thought like I could only buy things for my house that were from like West Elm and Our House and like Restoration Hardware and like actually I don't know if I ever ended up buying anything fresh. Did I? No, I don't think I bought anything from Restoration Hardware, but like CB2, Creighton, like all these like name brand like nice designer furniture stores. Like when I moved, I spent a disgusting, I don't even want to know how much money I spent furnishing my place. And there are some things like I am like, I love all the pieces I have. Like for example, like my rug was like handmade, imported from Morocco. Like that is something I'll forever be grateful I got. I don't regret buying that. But did I need to spend so much on dining chairs? I love them, but no, probably not. And or like decor. Like I would spend so much on like candle holders and stuff because I thought like everything needed to be from like a name brand designer store. But as the years have gone on, I've realized that's just like not necessary. Like you are partially, and it's not to say like don't get nice pieces, obviously. But like shopping at Home Goods, for example, I love getting decorations from Anthropologie, but you can find so much similar stuff at Home Goods or like TJ Maxx or other places like that. Like or thrift stores. Like I wish so badly I would have like done more thrifting when I like got pieces because they would be like more unique, and I don't regret anything I've bought. I guess I think it just like don't think you have to buy like the nicest of the nicest things for everything. Because first of all, you can find like way cooler stuff that's not as expensive and you get like more unique pieces, and also it's just really not necessary. I mean, there are some things I think are worth investing, like my rug I'm glad I got. My couch I was luckily gifted, but it's very nice. Like I would purchase this couch myself. My bed frame I love. I love everything I got, but do you get the point I'm making? Anyway, venture out of the world of just like West Elm. Not to shit on West Elm because I love them, but you know what I mean? Okay. Will I come back to YouTube? Absolutely. I have not meant to be away this long, and someone else asked same person asked if I'll do Vlogmas this summer again. Definitely, I want to get back into it. I just know I'm going home. This is not a reason for me like have not been posting before, but I feel like every time I'm like about to start posting, I'm going away somewhere or someone's visiting, and I want to be consistent. I'd like to come back with a bang and do something like Vlogmas, but I'm gonna go home first and then get back into the routine when I'm back. But yes, I do fully plan to come back to YouTube, and I miss YouTube, and it was not even intentional to take. I don't even know what happened. But yes, I will be back. How to just level up and give ultimate cool girl energy. I don't know if I have like the perfect answer for this, but I think it's really just to be, I think having the ultimate cool girl energy is just learning to be comfortable with yourself, because people can tell when you're insecure. I think like insecurity and like discomfort with yourself like emanates off your body. So I think like the number one way to give cool girl energy is to just like unapologetically be yourself, be confident, fake it till you make it. I have spent years faking confidence until like it finally came, and I still to this day have to like fake it a lot. But I think just like, I don't know, fake the feeling of being the coolest girl in the room, and one day like it will get to the point where you are giving coolest girl in the room because you're just so comfortable in yourself. And I think there's like, I was just thinking too, because like for me, I feel like a really cool girl when I'm wearing like super super baggy jeans and like a tight top, or like really oversized sweatshirts. Like my style is like super oversized baggy. That's when I feel coolest. Whereas like Celia, for example, feels coolest. I can't say exactly what she feels coolest for, but my whole point with this, and like I obviously love Celia's style too, but we have very different styles, and what makes her feel cool I might feel like insecure or uncomfortable in, and what makes me feel cool she might feel insecure or uncomfortable in. So I think like finding your own personal style and like wearing what you feel most comfortable and confident in, whether it is like I literally wear sweatpants like all the goddamn time, but it makes me feel cool, so, and I feel comfortable in it. So wear what makes you feel comfortable and what makes you feel cool, whether like even if you think it might not be the coolest thing to wear or do, like whatever you feel most confident and comfortable in. So I think like obviously like feeling confident in your appearance helps you with overall confidence in general. Cleansing rituals to help you reset your space. Ugh, this like is like especially whenever I have like a man over, not that I'm having men over all the time. The only man who's been to this house is that guy from Hawaii who I told you about a few episodes ago. But like I felt like I needed to really cleanse the energy. So like whenever I have someone over where I'm like ugh, or like I'm having like a really bad moral hangover where I just like drank too much and feel weird about myself and my actions, that's when I always feel like okay, I need to cleanse my space. So like my ritual to like really cleanse the energy, first of all, number one thing that you start with is put your bedding in the wash immediately. That always like cleanses a space for me. Energy wise as well, because I know this is talking like not just like cleanliness, but like yeah, energy wise, I think putting your sheets in the wash first thing, most important. And then I like to go on my TV, go on YouTube, and put on I don't know the exact video, but they have all these different ones. Just look up on YouTube cleanse negative energy out of home, and I will play. There's like an 8-hour video on YouTube. I put that on and I play it while I start deep cleaning, and then I will deep clean the whole space, vacuum, wipe down all the surfaces, dust, Swiffer, get everything like spick and span. Like when I'm feeling really bad, like I'll organize my closet, donate clothes, clean out the fridge. Like having everything like organized and put together, I really think like it's such a better energy in your house when everything has a space and you don't have like a closet overflowing or a fridge with like expired food. Like it just feels good to have everything, like the energy feels so much better to have everything clean and organized. And then I will also Palo Santo the whole house. That makes everything feel very, very good. When I moved in here, I was gonna sage the house, but then I got like people telling me like it's not, like saging is like a protected practice and you shouldn't be doing it unless like I don't know. So like I don't want to sage if it's a protected practice, so I haven't been saging. But something that is okay to do that's not a protected practice is rosemarying your house. So I rosemaried the whole house when I moved in here. That's like I guess a good way to cleanse the energy too. So I have like a little bundle of rosemary that I got at this crystal store. And then also just like opening the windows, letting fresh air in. That's like my favorite thing about not living in New York anymore, is being able to open windows and let fresh air in. And yes, I know I'm in LA, the air quality sucks, I get it, but it feels fresh to me. So I like to let fresh air in. So that's my cleansing ritual when I feel like I need to like reset everything. So yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna do a few more because we are over an hour and Ducky's gonna start being annoying soon. I can feel it. How do you make yourself get out of the house even when you're not feeling your best, both looks and mentally? I've said this before and I'll say it again, but the number one thing, and it sounds dumb, but like seriously, the number one thing that gets me to be able to get out of my house when I'm feeling uncomfortable and like really in my head, especially like if I wake up one day and I'm feeling embarrassed as hell and I'm like, I can't ever leave the house again, audiobooks literally get me through everything. Get an Audible subscription. Wish this was sponsored. It's not. I hope one day to have an Audible sponsorship. But seriously, they are like, Audible gets me through everything. I always have an audiobook, and like that gets me out of the house. I don't know how to explain it, but like if you're not feeling good mentally or physically, like I think like the best way to escape your own world as to read. And obviously you can't like read a book while you're walking around, running errands, exercising, doing whatever. So when I'm on a walk, when I'm at the grocery store, when I'm driving around, I always am playing an audiobook, and it helps me like go through the day and like feel comfortable and also like enjoy what I'm doing, and kind of like, especially on days where I'm not feeling my best, like it kind of takes me out of that world enough to still like be in the world getting things done, if that makes sense. And if you are in a place where like you don't have to do anything for the day, but you're really not feeling good physically or mentally, Celia and I always say this, but go for a walk. Even if it's just like a 10-15 minute walk, put on an audiobook, go for a walk. You will feel better. You will never ever regret going for a walk. Like it always makes you feel better. Thoughts on the wizard Liz being cheated on. Oh my god. If you don't know who the wizard Liz is, she is my idol. As I'm sure she's many other people's idols. She is like the most inspirational person in the world. Whenever I'm going through it, I'm playing her videos on repeat. She is amazing. And I don't know if they were married or just engaged, but she like was with this guy, and like she posted yesterday that he cheated on her, which is just so crazy and sickening, especially because I guess she's pregnant. Number one, I feel so awful for her, and I find this man disgusting. I watched like parts of his, like I saw on TikTok, like I guess he posted like an Instagram story like apologizing, but like not even really apologizing. And I find him disgusting. I cannot believe the wizard Liz was cheated on, but I think like I still don't want to say like, oh, this is proof that like all men suck, because I've heard from manifesting like you're not supposed to say that, and I don't think like I think there are good men out there in the world, but I think I don't even know what I mean. I'm blown away by it. I feel awful for her, and I think she's epic for walking away. Of course, the wizard Liz would walk away. She's like, she would never stay with the man who cheated on her. And I think like I'm blown away by it, but I don't really have anything else to say other than he's disgusting. She will be totally fine and better than ever. And yeah, it's just crazy because like I guess it shows people are good at faking who they are, because the wizard Liz definitely, not that I know her, but she does not seem like the kind of person who would like pick a guy who was going like to like, I think she really trusted this guy, which is just, he pretended to be a good person and then he showed his true colors. I feel awful for her, but she's gonna be better than ever. And yeah, I think that man is disgusting. So death row meal, this is gonna be my last one, because we are like well over an hour and Ducky is biting me. But my death row meal, can I make it like multiple things? Like, okay, death row meal, I think you can like order a bunch of stuff. So my death row meal would be a La Cabana La Burrita with their tableside guac. I would have 4 spicy margs with tahini, and you know what, I'll throw in a bottle of Cabernet and a bottle of Sauvignon Blanc as well. I'd usually say Chardonnay, but I've been into Sauvignon Blanc lately, I guess because it's summer, because I'm not going to get a hangover, considering I'm on death row. I'd also get In-N-Out grilled cheese, grilled onions, chopped chilies, like tons of extra In-N-Out sauce, animal style fries, chopped chilies, once again, extra sauce. And then I would get, I would get Applebee's, their pub style waffle fries with no bacon and a side of barbecue sauce, and I'd get their brew pub pretzel sticks. I'd probably be really full after that, but I would make sure to get it all down. And would I have room for dessert? I mean, I love a brownie sundae. I'd have a brownie sundae for dessert. And you know what? Since it's death row, let's throw in some cookies from Levon, the oatmeal chocolate chip. That's my death row meal. Okay, love you so much. I will see you next week. Celia will be back. We'll be back together. And once again, go follow Girl House Pod if you don't, so you can be in the loop and let us know what you want to and don't want to hear about. Okay, love you.